What's good, everybody? Welcome to Sun and Pop's Culture, Episode 4.
Oh,
I'm Sun,
and I'm Pops.
and if you're watching the highlights, then you might notice that we're in a different location.
Why is that, bud?
Because our usual table is in the back of someone's car in the trunk.
It may or may not be a casualty of the Memorial Day yard sale. More to come.
Yeah, TBH. Or TBD.
To be determined.
No, to be
to be continued.
Yeah,
to
all right.
be continued. TBC.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, drink of the week. This week's drink.
Yes.
We're rebranding.
Rebranding. Instead of drink of the week, it's now going to be called this week's drink. So this week's drink is a Manhattan. Manhattan's a classic drink. It was invented in the New York Manhattan Club. It's 2.5 ounces of bourbon or rye whiskey. This time we're going with Bullet bourbon. 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Couple dashes of bitters that Julius loves so much.
They burn.
You mix that all in the glass over. Well, you fill a rocks glass. You pour all that in. You stir it for about 25 to 30 seconds. Then you strain it into a new chill glass, garnish with a cherry or orange slice. I like the cherry, so I just threw one in anyways, and we garnish with an orange slice today. So this week's drink, the Manhattan.
Table's a little long. Yeah.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers. All right.
I'm gonna throw this in there.
The orange slice.
Yeah, why not?
Yep. I taste the bitters.
A little bitters goes a long,
Yeah.
but I was like barely dashed it because I knew. But tastes a lot like an old fashioned, right?
No, yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, you substitute vermouth, the sweet vermouth instead of simple syrup. Yeah. What do you think?
I like it. I mean,
manly. It's a manly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting chest hairs right now.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Where was old fashions made?
Okay, when?
Where?
You know what?
And
That's
when?
a good question because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the first cocktail. I'm pretty sure. So they said I was watching a video about drinks and apparently ice changed everything. Like ice, yeah, ice changed everything.
Before
like,
there was no ice boxes. Or
yeah,
they would put
yeah.
it in a box.
There was an ice box. Yeah, pray they would cut big huge chunks of ice and
just
ship
chisel at
them.
it.
Could you imagine that job? Just shipping ice.
Yeah.
Like you start with a piece the size of like a boat, and you get there, and it's like it'll fit perfectly in your ice box.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be $75.
Probably more than
that. Excuse me.
But so what was first, old fashions or Manhattans?
I'm pretty sure it was the old fashioned.
Yeah.
And then because the Manhattan was invented in a club, in like a cocktail club, so people were already drinking.
Okay.
You know, I guess there's different twists on the Manhattan. You can change the you can use dry vermouth and sweet vermouth, and that's a different type of Manhattan. I think I'd enjoy this more if you stirred it in the ice and left it in the ice. You know, It's kind of like with the martini. Once you strain it, it becomes pretty stout. I like ice. I like the crunch ice. You know,
as you may have heard.
Yes,
in
everybody's
previous
heard.
episodes.
Before we move forward, though, I want to say thanks to everybody who's been listening, and whoever rated us. Thank you for that 5-star rating.
Oh yeah, that's high praise.
High praise. Yeah. Shout out to Anthony Conrad, who I think may be our number one fan.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
for sure. What's up, Anthony? He jumps on it as soon as we upload. When we were a little late, he let me know. So thanks for listening, Anthony, my man. He calls me the pervy sage. I don't know why, but he is the Kage Bunshin. So
that's Naruto references for those of you who know who don't know.
Well,
you are the pervy sage.
I mean, I was going to get the tattoo with Naruto and the pervy sage for me and you. It still could happen. We'll see. So, let's get it.
All right. So, want to go straight into the pop culture news?
You want to go into pop culture? Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about the weekend?
You want to talk about the weekend first or the pop culture
Yeah,
stuff?
let's let's ease into it.
You're the boss, man.
Let's
You're
talk.
the boss.
Let's talk about pop culture.
Because the weekend stuff could go anywhere. Because
Yeah.
it was a long weekend. Go ahead.
All right, so for Memorial Day, past weekend, we went to Epseville, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we did.
I don't even know the population, probably 500.
Yeah, it's near Conneaut Lake.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes from Conneaut
But Conneaut's the closest town.
Yeah, and that's small.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you go to Conneaut and you're like,
Yeah.
let's go to Erie.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's like one street.
Mhm.
See everything. Yeah. Nice up there. Pretty.
It is.
You know.
Yeah.
Right next to National Game Lands.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
Yeah, we
know
drove
that.
right by them.
Oh,
Yeah, that's National Game Lands.
Hmm.
I mean, state Game Lands.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's all Ipsyville has. But we went there to visit my grandma,
Grandma Pam.
Oh.
Grandma Pam, my
my
mother-in-law.
mom's mom,
Mhm.
and for a yard sale.
Get it right. Yeah, we went
Yeah,
out
it
for
was
the
for a yard
yard
sale.
sale. But when we got there, what did we find out?
That she didn't think, my grandma didn't think it was her yard sale. She thought it was us bringing our stuff to her yard sale.
Yeah, because we would drive 2 hours away to sell stuff
it's a 2-hour drive
at her house.
I as soon as they told me that, I was like, why
I mean,
would you? What?
Why would she
that
not?
be a plan?
But why would she not? But your grandma, you know,
So last minute they had to get a whole bunch of stuff to sell, which they did.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
found a whole bunch
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, a whole lot of stuff.
And she made some money.
Yeah, I think the highlight of the sale would be what? The very first sale. The very
Oh,
first sale
yeah.
of the yard sale was the highlight of the sale. I'm not going to talk bad about the hotel that we stayed at, even though I could, but I'm not
Oh.
going to.
We stayed at the Econo Lodge.
Oh, you're going to talk bad
Yeah,
about it?
I'm not gonna talk bad. Just funny
Okay.
story. At work, someone at work on Monday
Yeah.
also went to Conneaut, and he stayed at that same
What?
hotel. And I was like,
How was his experience?
it was pretty ghetto. He was like, oh yeah, it was,
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's all you really had to say. I just thought that was funny.
That's the truth, though. I thought we were going to have to fight the guy when I checked in. I really did. Then I thought your mom was going to fight him. I was like, yeah, it's about to go down.
Oh, God.
Basically, what happened was they're a pet-friendly hotel, and we have two dogs, Rascal and Kane. And Rascal's old and fat and just wants to sleep, and Kane's Kane. He's like Tracy's little baby.
He's a Chihuahua in miniature pincher.
Yeah, so he has a lot of energy, but they're good dogs. Rascal's way past the phase of like wanting to bite anybody, and Kane doesn't want to be bothered. So, long story short, we're checking in. As soon as we walk in the hotel, the nighttime whatever person comes out, and somebody comes walking down the hall. Rascal and Kane see someone coming, and they bark one time. Ruff. That's it. He immediately, the guy checking us in immediately, he's like, well, are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that all the time? Is that what they do? And we're like, they bark. Well, if you check our pet policy, I'm like, this guy can't be serious, right? Like, you can't. They bark one time. Like, if you're pet friendly, you're pet friendly. So, long story short, they didn't bark the rest of the night, but we basically spent the rest of the night hoping they wouldn't bark, because if you're in a hotel, you have all kind of odd noises, random noises, and my dogs are good at letting you know when something's going on. So we didn't sleep well. So the next day, when we get to Grandma Pam's house for the yard sale, I'm trying to take a nap in the lazy boy. And as soon as they open up the yard sale, people flock. People come. And my daughter Deja comes walking in and she says, Dad. And I'm like, what? She's like, Aunt Marty came and she brought 2 Elvis Presley dolls in the box. I said, that's cool. She's like, she just sold them.
They were from 1968 or something.
Yeah. They were from 1960. They literally were from 1968 and they were still in the box. So I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, she just sold them. And that's when I said, like, you know, how old are you? She said 1968. And I said, how much did you sell them for? And Deja said $5 a piece. So I said, Deja, just look those up and see what they're worth. So they looked them up, and one was selling for $1,000 and the other one was selling for like $350. So that's when I decided I should probably get up and help regulate this yard sale before everything just walked away.
Yeah.
So that was to me the highlight of the yard sale.
The first sale.
The very first sale. The rest of it was just a bunch of like, I don't even know, madness, because I found out it was yard sale season, which I didn't know there was a yard sale season.
Know either.
Yeah, these two brothers came, and by brothers I mean they were actually siblings. They came. People keep saying brothers, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, they were siblings. So they came, and they were buying like anything and everything like tool related. They bought a bucket full of ratchets for, if you know, like a ratchet in the socket or a socket and ratchet, whatever. They bought a bucket full of those. It wasn't even like they matched. They were just like random sizes. So they were just buying tools, and they said, I have a problem. I buy tools. But they were the ones that let me know, like, this time of year up there, it's just yard sales everywhere, and people flock to them. So it was pretty wild. I learned some things. This old man tried to hit on your mother. You know, he came up to me and says, is that your lady? And I said, yeah. And he said, oh, man, you got a good one there, man. And I was like, oh, thank you. She's far more than I deserve. I appreciate that. And then he went on this whole thing about how his junk doesn't work anymore. But
wow.
But
why do you even have to say that here?
I'm just saying, because he said, I mean, look, I think he said it so I wouldn't feel threatened. Not that I was feeling threatened, but he said, I mean, look, I'm 70 years old. My stuff ain't worked in a long time, but I'm going to look until the day I die. And I was like, hey, good for you, man. Good for you.
He just met you.
Yeah, he just met me. And he's from Cleveland. So then he talked about how the women in Cleveland look better than the women in Erie. So I don't know. That just seemed hard to believe, but that's what he told me.
Jeez.
So yeah. So then I said a few more nice things about your mom, and then I walked away. And when your mom came back, he basically told her everything I said. And then he let me know. He was like, "Hey man, I told her everything you said." And I was like, "Thanks, man. Like thanks. Yeah, thanks for wingmanning me. You know, I've been in this one for about 20-some years. I think I'm okay, but every little bit helps. But so that
was our weekend.
That was pretty much our weekend. Yeah.
Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Still recovering. More than a week later.
It took me till Wednesday to feel right.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like
I agree.
Did you drink at all?
Only Friday.
Man, you weren't with us.
No.
Yeah, you went up to Erie. Yeah, that's the part of the story we're never going to hear about.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. I just went to Erie. My friend goes to Penn State Barron, so a couple of us went to Erie to visit him.
That's it.
And had fun.
And saw some friends. Went to a place. I think everybody knows that trend by now, bud.
Yeah, well, I hope they do, because that's what happens.
Okay.
But
yeah. But yeah. So yeah, it took me a lot longer. Just I think I didn't sleep so good for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even like alcohol. I mean, me and your mom were drinking on freaking Monday. No,
I noticed that.
I mean, you sat there like a wise man. I looked at you like, he isn't drinking because he just knows. Like, I'm 45 years old, and I know too, but for some reason, I think this is a good idea. Yeah,
that's how it gets you.
Yeah,
the sun was shining.
Mm-hmm.
You smelled the barbecue on the grill.
Yeah, smoked some ribs.
Yeah,
making it do what it do. But that was my first go around with ribs in a couple summers.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't remember the last time.
They weren't bad. I was happy with the flavor. I think I can get them a little better for sure.
Yeah,
but they were more than edible. I'll say that.
No, they were good.
I mean, they were good, but when it comes to ribs, I mean, they're ribs. Like, I mean, the overall best ribs that we get are whose? It's okay.
Uncle Chet's.
Uncle Chet. Yeah. Best ribs around. But he uses an electric smoker. So
it's like is that like steroids in the barbecue?
I mean, it's like
realm?
I mean, your Uncle Chet, no, I'm not gonna front. Your Uncle Chet and your Uncle Larry, they don't use wood. They use their like electric smokers with some wood chips. But they both put a lot of love into their ribs. Like, they do the step still. The only thing they won't really have to do is fight that temperature and fight that smoke. And to me, personally, that's the part of it that makes it, it's a skill thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, like your pap, he just got a smoker and it's a wood smoker. So when I talked to him, he just told me on the way home yesterday, I was like, that's what's up, Dad. That's what's up. I said, you're going to get in there. You're going to get your technique right. And you're going to fight it. You're going to be out there battling, trying to keep your temperature right. I said, that to me is the process, because anybody can make ribs. You make it dope. You get a dope rub, get a dope sauce, and you can throw them in the oven you can throw them on a grill for an hour, get some smoke in them, and throw them back in the oven for 2 more hours, and people won't really know the difference. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's just that's between you, the ribs, and the fire. That's why you shake your head, but that's literally why I won't buy like a gas smoker or like an electric smoker. I want to be out there with coal or with wood, just making it do what it do. So when they hit, I know I did that. That's all I'm saying. You'll see one day, bud. You'll see. You know, nobody will appreciate it, but
Yeah.
you'll see. But
I mean, the best you'll get is you're pretty good.
you're pretty good.
This is what people just say.
Yeah, that's all you get. You're
Yeah.
pretty good, bro. You're pretty good. You know, but when I watch like competitions and stuff, you know, they have to use wood. They have to. You know, they don't.
Does Pappy still use tinfoil?
I think he does. I think he
When are you
does.
gonna tell him?
I mean, something that's gotta let him go, but he got his theories. He has his theories on things that, you know,
Yeah.
may not be accurate, but that's how he rolls. So
Now, can you tell everyone else why you shouldn't use tinfoil?
no, you please.
No,
can
no, no. I honestly forget what you said. I just remember you don't know.
I forget too, actually, but actually, you just shouldn't. I mean, some people think it's like a hygiene thing to use tinfoil, but you just shouldn't. It'll come to me later why you shouldn't. I think I've said it so much that I forgot, but
People are gonna be like, what are you talking
I mean,
about?
there will be people who are like, "What do you mean
Yeah,
you
like-
use tinfoil on your grill?"
They're gonna be really mad.
Well, hey,
at you.
don't use tinfoil. I grew up with tinfoil on my grill. And then one day, you know what? I just took it off. And I got me a little scraper and cleaned my grill. And I was like, wow, this tastes amazing. This tastes amazing. And
All the dozens of times you used the grill
Oh.
just soaked into
Yeah,
one on
yeah.
one. What's that called? The
one great.
one. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, all that char goes right in it. When you use the
Grease,
foil, it's just
char.
like,
Germs.
it's called umami. That char flavor is
Is that
umami.
really what it is?
I'm pretty sure it's something
Please
like it.
be true. I don't.
Look,
I hope
but-
it's. I hope that's
See,
right.
I'm
I
glad
don't
you
want it
said-
to be.
I'm glad you said please be true, because this is what I realized being at Conneaut over the weekend. We were off the grid.
Oh
we-
yeah,
we were
yeah.
off
We
the
didn't
grid.
have service.
We had
either.
no service, so we were just like there talking. And what I realized was like, oh fuck, I'm smart again. I'm like because as soon as everybody gets smartphones, the smartest person in the room is the person who can look up something fastest. Whereas me, I say stuff that has a high percentage of being true, but there might be some
There's some
So
errors.
so yeah, there might be some errors, but the gist of it is true. Like umami, I'm gonna tell you this: it's an Asian word. It has to do with like there's sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. The only problem with my story is umami might not be the right word, but
But there is a word out there
yes,
that means sweet and bitter.
no, it's the fifth taste.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the fifth
so
taste.
there's a.
Yeah,
There, we don't even know what Asian
Yeah.
language, but there is an Asian word
yes.
that means
See, you understand
that
me,
means
bud.
fifth taste.
You understand me. Thank you, son. Thank you for that.
I hope
But
it's
but see,
umami.
I hope it is too. But that's how my stories work. It's like when your pap tells a deer story. Every time he tells you a story about hunting a deer, it's always different. But at the end of it, you know one thing: he went out,
We got a
he
deer.
got a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a male or a female. Like that. That always stays the same. So the story's true, except for the parts that aren't. So there you go. Like I said, I'm not a historian. I'm a storyteller. But okay, pop culture.
Okay. But that was our weekend.
That was our weekend.
I hope
every-
I hope you guys all had fun.
Hopefully.
Pop culture news.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, wanted to talk to you about this.
Okay.
Avengers Campus.
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
me about this.
So Avengers Campus is part of part of Disneyland in Anaheim, California,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really know what it consists of, but I know like it's the Marvel characters. Like you'll go there and you'll see the Marvel characters, but they're really advertising. And I found out,
Wait, it's done?
yeah, it's opening.
Oh.
It's opening this week if it hadn't opened already. It was supposed to open last year, but it got pushed back. So it's supposed to open. If it's not by now, it's this week. But they're really. I found out through TikTok because Disney posted something. Like people have been posting stuff.
That's crazy.
Like,
Disney
getting the
posted
word
on
out.
TikTok.
They have their own TikTok.
That's-
It's pretty
that's
cringy.
crazy. Yeah.
It's
I'm
pretty.
sure.
Yeah.
Super wholesome.
It's like wholesome but trying to be use slang.
Oh,
Like they had like
hey guys.
Dixie D'Amelio,
No.
the Charlie D'Amelio girl,
Oh, her
her
sister.
sister. Like she was
Okay.
there with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
and like someone was like interviewing them, and the interview was like no cap, but it was like used so like
Yeah,
it did not need to be
It
used.
was like I said it.
it was it was
Yeah.
worse.
It was worse. Wow.
Because it was like a millennial. You could tell by the sound of
Yeah.
the voice. And it was just
Yeah.
like, what?
No cap.
He did not need to
said,
say
no
that.
cap.
Yeah.
Not like when Breyer said it. No
But
cap.
Avengers Campus though, the really cool thing that they're showing like a lot. That the only thing I've seen is it's Spider-Man, and there's a guy talking like Tom Holland. Spider-Man.
yeah?
But that's not the cool part. Then he goes up on like top of this building.
Wait, this is like a show, like a live show.
It's not like a show. It's part of like the attraction.
Oh, okay.
They have characters walking around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, on top of the building, then you see Spider-Man shoot up like swinging.
Oh, he's doing
webs.
Spider-Man shit.
Like,
okay.
No, legit like swinging webs, and he does.
Shut up.
Yeah, yeah. So Spider-Man's on top of the building, and like he swings it from a web, and he's in the air, no webs. Does like a jump, like a front flip in the air, and then lands.
I need to see that. Yeah,
And then he comes down on a wire.
Yeah.
And then that's the actor again. That's the thing. When he shoots up in the air, that's a robot. They built a robot. They built an animatronic.
Are you serious?
Yeah, just for that. It looks crazy. You couldn't tell though
Disney
from the
money.
distance.
It's that Disney money.
Yeah,
Wow.
it looks like iRobot. Like
Dude.
the model of it, iRobot, the Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
That's what the model kind of looks like when they broke it down.
Shut up. So they show you the robot. Like you can see the
like
robot.
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like
behind the
someone
scenes.
showed
Yeah.
it. But from far away, it looks like a person, and
Wow.
it looks like if you would imagine Spider-Man swinging in real life, like at the movies, that's what it looks like. But then the real life guy comes down on the wire, but he comes down like Spider-Man crawling. But it looks pretty cool.
But I remember when we went to Disney World when you were little, and I was talking about Imagineers.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, think about the Imagineers that built like this Swiss Family Robinson house, like the tree house.
I don't even know.
It's this giant tree house at Disney World. You don't remember it?
No.
It's pretty dope. It's a movie. Then you go to Disney World and it's an attraction. This is a giant tree house you walk through, which I'm sure in like 1970 was like dope. Like people probably stood in line for that, but now we just go and walk through it. It's still cool, but it's not like, oh my god, it's
like
cool.
I need to see that.
Yeah, like no one needs to see it now. But it's still dope. I hope they never get rid of it.
Yeah.
But so you went from that to like Pirates of the Caribbean to like, and now they have robots
jumping in the air. Like
that's insane.
Like he's doing the same pattern.
That's insane. So basically, like if they ever get AI and they go bad, there's no way we're going to live. They'll be like,
we'll get a Will Smith.
Yeah, we'll be like, yeah, you guys invented the Spider-Man robots. Good job, guys. Like, yeah, now we're really beat. Yeah, wow. I have to see that now because that's pretty amazing.
I mean, I thought it looked really cool. Like I didn't know when I first saw it, I was like, how is he doing that? Like,
right.
Because he was no wire or anything. He's in the air.
And he would never let a person just do that.
That's why I was like, what is? And then I was reading the comments, and then I saw the behind the scenes thing. And
I
I
was
was like,
gonna
how'd they build a robot to do the same patterns and do all
that's
that?
probably was the easy part, getting it to do the patterns.
Yeah.
But the fact that it
And
could
land
be
the same
agile
way.
and it could look fluid,
That's the crazy thing.
Disney.
And for a theme park.
That's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. Like they're like
millions of dollars.
We could have used just to help people who were not. Nah, we need to. We got that Avengers Campus coming, so we need to get this robot done.
That all fact.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. That's not what I thought you were going to talk about. I thought you were going to be like, oh, it's like the Star Wars attraction. You can go and become an Avenger. I never thought in a million years.
I mean, I'm sure they have that too.
I'm sure they do, but I mean, you got a freaking Spider-Man flying through the sky for real.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering what else they do with that.
Because I didn't know if it was rushed, but then you said it was supposed to open last year.
Yeah.
So they've had a lot of time to really, really get it right. So that's good.
I didn't even know they're doing it until I saw the video. I was like, Avengers Campus.
So
I was like, that's kind of a lame name.
It is. Well, they had that Avengers Academy comic book. It was actually pretty good. So
that sounds better.
It was good.
Than Campus. I don't know.
Did you So did you hear anything about Universal then? Did Universal lose their rights to the Marvel like rides and stuff?
They still have them.
They still have.
You've been saying that.
That's a big deal.
I know, but like, there's some. Like they might have just bought the motion picture thing. Like, you know how many rights there are.
Well, Universal, they have rides though. Like the Hulk ride is the Hulk ride.
Disney might have just bought the motion picture. Like,
no, Disney owns Marvel.
Oh, so I don't know how.
But the rights are licensed to different people, so I'm assuming I don't know how that stuff works. Like, if you have to renew it.
Me neither.
Because I know, because Sony has to keep making Spider-Man movies, or the rights do go back to
Yeah, that's why
Marvel.
isn't that why they made them? I feel like they were rushing like Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's why they made Amazing Spider-Man because their rights, because they weren't doing Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. Yeah. But their rights were going to be up, so then they made Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, which I liked.
Yeah,
I liked. You know,
they did some good stuff with it. Some misses.
Yeah. What happens in the second one?
Second one, Electro, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible, I was thinking that was look. Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield is a bad movie, except for when Gwen Stacy dies. That scene is dope.
I think everyone likes that scene.
That scene is amazing. The web is reaching for her. If you could just take that scene and, like, I don't know, build another Spider-Man movie around that scene, it could be a pretty amazing movie. Because every time I rewatch that scene on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, I mean, because I've seen it done in different formats. Like, for those who don't know, the death of Gwen Stacy is a real integral part of Spider-Man's history. It, like, stayed with him because he didn't save her, and he may or may not have actually killed her when he tried to save her. So I've seen it done on different formats, and that one, I like it because you can see, like, in her eyes, like, the hope, and then, like, she's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And you hear the snap. Spoilers.
And he thinks he saved her.
Yeah, and
Until he realizes
that he really didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's deep.
That is a good scene.
Yeah. They say some say that's the beginning of the modern age. Some.
You mean
comics.
Bronze Age?
Or the Bronze Age, yeah. The Bronze Age. Some.
Did Stan Lee write that?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
But it still was pretty early in Spider-Man, wasn't it?
He was in college at that point. So.
It was like 72.
So I think it was issue 121 or something like that.
Maybe. So, it was early 70s, wasn't it?
It was in the 70s, yeah. So no, Stan wasn't right. Stan wrote Fantastic Four the longest. Mm-hmm. You know. And then he had been off of Spider-Man for a while. But
yeah,
that could be a whole conversation about Stan Lee. But anyways.
All right. News number 2.
Okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder. It's the next Marvel movie for Thor. That's supposed to come out next year. Next year.
2022.
I think so. Next fall. Anyway, they just wrapped up production, so yeah, it probably is next fall.
Next fall?
Probably next fall.
Yeah.
But that's the third Thor movie. No, fourth third Thor movie.
It took them 3 to figure it out.
Yeah. But anyway, they just wrapped production, and they had a picture. Why I'm bringing it up is they had a picture of Chris Hemsworth on set. And what are your thoughts on the picture? He's in the Thor. He's in a
He's in a tank top.
He's in a tank top, like yeah. And then with the wig on.
Yeah, yoked in a motherfucker. He was big. Yeah, it was the biggest we've ever seen him, man. He was
Chris Hemsworth, biggest we've ever.
Yeah,
like he's huge. I was like, whoa,
he's yoked.
Like Thor was big before.
Yeah, but they really went with like I don't even know. Like I mean, Chris Hemsworth he's put together. I mean,
and he's a tall person.
Yeah, he has a big frame.
Yeah,
and put on a lot of bulk, and he bulked for this one because he was looking vascular. Like he looked big. So
yeah, his arms just itself.
Yeah, I was like, they're saying he's teetering around 20 inches. Like,
jeez.
You know, that's that. Yeah, 20 inches is 20 inches. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was excited by that.
Yeah,
I mean, Taika Waititi as a director, did he write it too?
I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I'm really looking for. I like, you know, Taika's about to do something else big. I can't remember what it is now, but I'm really looking forward to his store. And how about Natalie Portman? She like basically tapped out, and now that they turned the franchise around, they're basically doing a whole movie with her as the centerpiece.
Yeah,
which is pretty funny because
by this time it'll be 9 years after.
Wow,
she's been in one.
It's been 9 years since she was in one.
2013 was the last one she was in.
Yeah, did we figure out if she actually shot those scenes in Endgame?
I don't know.
Infinity War?
I think it might have just been footage they had.
I feel like it was stock footage too. I feel like she was like, "Nah, man, I'm not coming back."
Or they just didn't bother to.
Yeah, you know.
It would be more of a hassle to schedule all that.
Yeah,
So
we
like,
can
we
just
had the
use
stock
something we
footage.
can use. Yeah.
Add Groot. I mean, add Rocket
Add
CGI.
Rocket. Yeah. But now she is back. I
Yeah.
think. What do you think she's gonna do? Like physically, I mean, she's Thor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, she can still stay lean, but I mean, she has to do something.
Yeah, I don't. Is she gonna be Thor? Do we know that for sure?
I mean, Love and Thunder. They showed her pick up the hammer at Comic-Con.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're doing female Thor, but it's not like she Thor. She's
Mm-hmm.
as it says, whosoever is
surprised
worthy.
They're doing that since she's in her 40s too.
Is she? Yeah, I'm 45.
At least late 30s.
Yeah, she's in her 40s. You're right. Yeah, she's
Just
probably
surprising.
40.
Like if you plan every big hero to have a trilogy.
Well, no,
that's
this will
9
probably be.
years.
I think a standalone.
All right.
I think it'll be standalone. Something happens where she. I mean, she is worthy. Once you're worthy.
Yeah, you're
well,
worthy. Oh yeah, we find out with Thor. It's every other movie.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be good though. It's gonna be good. I'm glad. And Hemsworth is smart. Like everybody else is like, oh, I've had enough. He's like, nah, just keep giving them to me. I'll keep playing Thor. Give me those checks.
Well, with Drax, you saw what he said. He said he's
getting old.
Yeah, which is understandable. Yeah, Drax said the guy that plays Drax said he's
Chris
done.
Batista or Dave Batista.
Dave Batista. Yeah. He said he's done after the third Guardians.
Yeah,
just because he's old. He's 50.
He's old. Yeah, he just can't do the training to that level anymore. And I'm not going to talk stuff because the guy's still yoked. But you can see the difference. I can see a difference in him physically from the first one to like Infinity War. Just how his body is it's just you know that type of result doesn't come easy or natural. So I just feel like he's probably tired of all the gear that he needs to maintain that physique, because he would naturally just have a nice, normal, above average physique. But what you have to do to play someone like Drax, which I could see him writing him off with some weird thing where Drax gets kind of, I don't know, bumped up and they can just do a CGI Drax. But do you really want 3 CGI characters? Anyways,
I'd rather them just
recast.
Yeah, or kill him off.
Kill off Drax. Drax never.
It would be sad.
It would be sad. He's so simple. I like Drax.
He's a simple man. Simple creature.
A simple creature. Do you want me to roll into my review of Army of the Dead?
Since we're talking about
Dave Bautista?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Now, for those who know me, you know I don't mess with zombies. And
what is Army of the Dead?
Okay, Army of the Dead is Zack Snyder's new movie.
On Netflix.
It just came out and it was in the top 10. It was number 1 for a couple of days. I don't really mess with zombies because I don't mess with scary movies, mainly because I get nightmares. So I do. So I mean, you laugh, but you used to be sitting there right there with me, like
when I was like 5.
Hey, no, Tracy and Deja would rent like a scary movie, and me and Julius would rent like some anime, and we'd watch it in like separate parts of the house.
I was a kid.
So I'm
now
just saying,
I can watch scary movies.
Look. I have a very vivid imagination. If I watch like a scary movie at like noon, I will dream about it. It might not be a nightmare, but I will dream about it that night, and I just don't have time for that. I like my sleep. So anyways, but Zack Snyder just made the Snyder cut of Justice League, which I liked. It was 4 hours long, but I did really enjoy it, and I like Zack Snyder's movies visually.
Not a smart storyteller.
No, not by any means.
He can make stuff look cool, look really cool.
Yeah,
but I mean,
his story
is kind of like stuff on a wall.
Yeah.
Let's see what works.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, that really hot girl with nothing to say. Like, oh yeah, she's really.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that.
Or hot guy, really hot guy with nothing to say.
Yeah, this and like
it's nice to look at.
You're like, man, they are.
Yeah.
Boring.
It take you a while to get tired of looking at them, but yeah. But so when I saw Army of the Dead, I was like, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna watch it with Tracy because she'll get me through, like, if it's scary. But I had a good feeling it wasn't gonna be scary. It was gonna be action, but just zombies, and I don't like zombies. So Army of the Dead is about a zombie apocalypse that takes place in Las Vegas, and the government manages to seal off Las Vegas and keep all the zombies in Las Vegas. But in the process, they leave all the money in Las Vegas. So everything in Las Vegas is zombies. And there's a refugee camp kind of right outside. And people kind of like they're kind of like dislocated, I guess. They don't have anywhere to go, so they stay in this camp while the government tries to figure out what they're going to do about Vegas and these people. And people periodically will break back into Vegas to try to get money because it's just money everywhere without getting eaten by the zombies. So this movie is about 5 people who actually survived that apocalypse and managed to save like a army general or a senator or somebody. So they're kind of a big deal. And this owner of a casino who's already like got his money from insurance wants to actually get the money that's still in Vegas. So he's going to send them in and give them $50 million to split amongst themselves. And the twist is when they get there, you have your typical zombies, but then you find out that the zombies, there's like a pecking order and there's levels to it. So they have some level of intellect and some level of organization. So you're not just going to, there's like a society. So it's actually an army of the dead. So that's the gist of the movie, like what it's about. Visually, Zack Snyder.
One complaint with the visuals I heard, they used a lot of shallow focus, rack focus. Which
this is my film student, my student son, so I don't even know what that means. So go ahead.
So it's when stuff would be super focused and then get super blurry.
I could say there was some of that.
People have said there's a lot to the point it was like distracting. And if you didn't know, Zack Snyder wrote, directed, did the cinematography, and produced this.
Well, that's probably in his backyard too. But anyways, he shot scenes for Justice League in his backyard. Yeah. Because he does so much post production that all you need is a green screen, and he's going to make the rest look like it. So,
visually, you said it was stunning.
Visually, it was Zack Snyder. It wasn't as Zack Snyder as his other movies. I actually thought that halfway through, like, well, this isn't as Zack Snyder as I thought it was. Yeah. And story wise, it was better than Sucker Punch, which is insane.
I hope it would be.
Sucker Punch was so terrible.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch looked good, but it was horrible. I've never finished that movie. I've tried like 3 times. Bad. But so it was. I don't want to say underwhelming. Me and your mom watched it. She had her hand on my chest. I drank my drink.
All right.
It was a nice night to watch a movie with my woman, and that's the movie we watched. So I guess I'll call it a win. I guess. What do you think I was going to say, bud? I wasn't going to say nothing crazy. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. It's a family show here. So, So yeah. I don't know. 2.5 stars out of 5.
2.5
out of 5. Because I don't want to completely shit on it. I don't want it.
That's kind of. I guess that's an average.
That's movie. Average. Yeah. I mean, because it is what it is. A zombie movie, so it's not like I expected a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's
people were the first week. People were talking about it, and it had like a 7. I don't care about numbers, but it had like a 7 point something on IMDb. I looked like yesterday. It has a 5.9 now.
that seems like about right.
I thought it was gonna at least 6. I'd say is an average movie. 6 to 6.6 is an average.
It could go up to 6. I mean, the movie.
It's not. Once it's down, it doesn't go.
Well, think about it. So it had that 7.9, which was way too high.
Yeah,
which was way too high. So people probably watched it with these crazy expectations after seeing that, and then they were like, "No, this movie's like a 5." So it is what it is. It's like when you go see the Fast and Furious, you know what you're going to go see. So like,
speaking of that, I saw the trailer in theaters for the new one after you were just talking about it. Yeah, and I was just laughing the whole time because it was so bad.
It's like bad.
And I saw that trailer already, but it was just ridiculous. I was like, what?
It's like, brother.
Yeah.
You're like,
really? John Cena was like, all my life I've been living in your shadow. Yeah. And I'm like, what? And he's like, but now he said something basically like, I'm gonna ruin your life.
Yeah. He's like, so and so's whatever his name is. She said that's Dom's brother, the brother that none of us have heard about in the last 20 years of Fast and Furious movies. Who's also like, I mean, think back, people. In the first one, he was just like a car thief. That's all he did. I know. And now they're like,
I'll say this, Dilly. My friend Dilly, he said Fast and Furious was just Point Break, but with cars. And I was like, wow.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Go Dilly. I like that.
Yeah, and now look at what it is. Like they were. I mean, I think they have a spaceship in this one.
Shut up.
Something
Stop
like it.
Saying that.
It was. It
what
was
kind of spaceship? Like
it, no, it was
a
like
shuttle.
it was like a rocket. Like what's his name? Tyrese.
Tyrese. And
Tyrese and Ludacris were in it, and he's like Tyrese is like please, like doing like you know funny black guy.
Yeah.
And then they're on this plane.
Yeah.
And then they let go of the whatever that's our dog in the background. Rascal.
Yeah, hacking.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But they're flying in this plane, and they pull this lever, and the plane drops, from the shuttle, and it looks like a ship from Star Wars, like the small ships on Hoth. And then it cut. They're like screaming, like, ah! And then it cut.
See, I kind of want to see that. Because that'll be really funny. Like
it's not that funny. It's like, so funny because it's so funny. Crazy.
It'll be like this is
it's
like
so ridiculous.
We went from like stealing Honda Civics and souping them up with nitrous to flying rockets. Like, are we qualified? No.
Oh no! It gets even in the trailer too. I think Vin Diesel's driving and he's getting chased by like military or something. He's getting chased by John Cena's people.
Yeah.
And he says something, and they turn this switch in the car where the gear shift is.
Yeah.
And it's a magnet, and all the military cars start like getting repelled from his car.
Oh wow! So
and
he
then
got some Speed Racer James Bond stuff going on.
Yeah.
In his car.
And then he like turns the lever the other way, the switch the other way, and like all the metal from buildings starts to get pulled in. And I forget what he says, but it's something dumb with magnets.
Wow.
He's like, we got some power or something.
Wow. Bipolar. Something. That's crazy.
Like a legit magnet in the car, repelling and pushing military vehicles and objects in your house.
We should get you think Wyatt's my nephew, his cousin, you think Wyatt's watched those?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a fan of Fast and Furious.
We should get someone but I wonder what order he's seen them. Like, I wanted someone who's never seen them to watch them in reverse. Like, watch them in reverse and see how their mood changes.
That's a good experiment.
They'd be like,
yeah,
these are amazing, to like, what?
Yeah.
Like, they're just driving fast down the street. Like, that's lame. Yeah. What's drifting? Like, you get to Tokyo Drift where everybody's like, what? Who are these people?
Tokyo Drift, though, everyone still says that's like the worst.
I don't know. I just remember that song, Tokyo.
Yeah, that song's so good. It's
drift,
doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they say.
They say, I wonder if you know in Tokyo, then you see. I forget.
Yes.
But Tokyo. It's still drift.
Yes.
The Teriyaki Bros.
Yes.
Teriyaki Brothers.
Yeah. That's awesome. But when I was fracking, my boss, Bigfoot, and he earned his name. He was like 6'5", 300 pounds, yoked. They called him Bigfoot, but he was like 24, so he had like a baby face.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was a school teacher prior to fracking.
And he went from school teaching to fracking.
He couldn't get a full-time gig. But he used to sing that song, and it was just so funny. I was like, coming out of his mouth. What's that?
It's a catchy song.
Yeah. But so what did you watch? What do you have a review for us today, right?
Yeah, I saw A Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay.
Highly recommend A Quiet Place in general. Like, have you seen it?
No. That teeters on that line for me.
It's people like greatest horror or whatever. Like, it's a horror, but it's more a thriller. Like,
okay.
Like the first two, you're tense the whole time. Like, that's what it's incredible at.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the tension.
Yeah. Like throughout the whole time, you don't get a breath. Or if you get a breath, it's for like a second, and then it's like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But this second one, I still recommend it. Like, I give it like a 7.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one, I would give it 8.2.
You said you had some issues with what did you tell me?
I had a couple issues. Like, I will say, before I get into the issues, if you watch the first and second one, and obviously they're gonna make a third one, like the first and second one, it would be great to binge that. Like, it would feel like watching like a mini series. That's why, yeah. Like, and that would be so cool to watch, because the second one starts off right after the first one, and like when I mean right after, and it just flows like a TV show. But with that, like, when the movie finished, me and all my friends were like, man, that felt like like we were trying to think of the beginning, the middle, and the end. Like it just felt like a couple scenes because the plot's so simple, but that's like what works. Like it's a character-driven movie, and it's a really simple story. But what didn't work was like it wasn't as tense as the first one. But even though this is still a great sequel, horror sequels never.
Yeah.
When do sequels ever
Scream
work?
2. Scream 2 worked, but that's it.
Not nearly as good as Scream 1.
It's good though.
All right.
It's good. But anyways, actually,
Was it good?
It was good.
No one talks about Scream 2.
Scream 2. Scream 1 was like, let's say if it was a 10, Scream 2 was like a 7. It's just
You
still good.
say Scream 1's a 10.
I'm saying if it was a 10,
Oh,
just to give you a baseline, if it's a
Okay.
10, then
I say the Quiet Place 1 is.
8.2.
I say an 8.2, and this one's like a
That's high
7.2.
praise.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Quiet Place 1. Like you watch that movie in theaters, you can't even eat your popcorn because you're quiet the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
in this one, even in the second one, it's like that. But I feel like the sound design wasn't as good.
Sound played a huge part in the first one, right?
Yeah, and it plays a huge part in this one. Like that's what the monsters do. But
Well, tell them the premise for those who don't know. Just
well, I'm not because you shouldn't know. This is a big movie. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm
just
joking.
saying. They should know, but
Yeah, A Quiet Place. This family.
you can just tell me the aliens.
Yeah, I'm saying this
Yeah.
family survives in this post-apocalyptic world where aliens hunt by sound, only sound. So you have to be quiet.
All the time.
You can't make a noise, or else you can't like step on a twig, or so they hear it. So like the sound design works in that, and they also have a deaf daughter, so like you hear stuff from her point of view, and the second one does that too. But I felt like watching it, I heard more music in this one. Not a lot, but I noticed it to the point I was like, I don't feel like the first one used as much music, which kind of hurt the quietness of the whole thing. And also the story, like I feel like I'm rambling.
No,
Like,
go ahead.
I feel like the
You're worried
story.
about her.
Yeah, the dog's walking around,
Yeah,
and
it's
I can't
fine.
focus.
It's fine, bud. It's fine.
The family like splits up, and I was watching this review, and like Emily Blunt's character she doesn't really do much in this one. And there's two stories, and the one story is really plot driven, that's where all this stuff, that's where like the meat and potatoes happens, and the other one, it's kind of like there's not much going on with it.
It's a B story.
Yeah, as a B story, there's still not much going on with it. It's
Right.
because they split them up, and
First rule of a horror movie: you don't split up.
yeah,
You don't split up.
you don't split up.
Yeah.
And there was also like a cliche thing, like, oh, what's this guy's deal? And then the son goes investigating, but that felt completely unnecessary. We were like, why did you do that? Anyway.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this was a planned trilogy?
Oh no, John Krasinski. I just found out he said he didn't want to do it.
Oh,
It's like when way back when he said he didn't want to do a second one.
okay. And then they were like,
They made it work, like
they
for
made it
not
work,
having a
but
plan.
Yeah, but this is what you get too.
Yeah.
You get like
It's still highly recommended. He still
okay.
did an incredible job
Did he
directing
direct it?
it.
Did he write it?
He was the only one that wrote it this time.
Really?
Last time he co-wrote it was two other
Interesting.
people.
And what Emily Blunt's his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like there's also the movie also has like from day one of the apocalypse, and that was the best part of the movie, and that's in the beginning. Like that was like so well done, and this movie was well done, with the direction and everything. Like being tense, that's its strong suit, but not as tense as the first one. And it felt like in this one they're trying to be as tense, if not more, and it just wasn't working because, spoiler, we know from the first one these monsters' weaknesses.
Yeah.
So that's automatic. Well, we know how you can beat them.
Yeah.
It's just like beating them.
Let's beat them.
Yeah.
It's funny because Quiet Place came out before COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out in 2018.
Okay. Yeah. I just wonder how they're going to do these I guess, apocalyptic, like all of a sudden there's this worldwide crisis and how we manage it type thing, because we all saw how poorly we managed the virus.
So pretty accurate.
I could see people like straight up like in West Virginia, if aliens attack, like, what? There ain't no aliens in Pittsburgh.
No,
They'd be like,
in this one, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you see how they weren't able to manage it.
yeah, you see how
It was literally like boom, and then
Oh.
you're like, oh yeah, that's why everyone's dead.
yeah, they were quick, fast, and dirty.
Yeah, they're just aliens were just
came
murking
in.
people.
Yeah, well, that's how you gotta do it.
Not even eating them. They're just
came in like,
killing them.
nah, no time for you.
Yeah,
You gotta go.
but that's was The Quiet Place Part 2.
Quiet Place.
Go see it.
Highly recommend it.
Mm.
Army of the Dead.
Recommend it.
If you're on the couch, you got nothing to do.
See A Quiet Place in theaters. See
Really?
A Quiet Place in theaters. Army of the Dead. If you have time,
Yeah.
No
if you have
plans.
time, no plans.
watch
You
it on the
just wanna,
couch.
chill with your cuddle bug. Go ahead, watch it. Yeah, it's better than watching Gilmore Girls. But no, actually, it's not, because Gilmore Girls is really
It
growing
is
on me.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is enjoyable. I haven't sat on the couch when Deja and Mom got onto season 4.
Yeah.
Like, I barely saw moments of season 3,
Yeah.
but I knew kind of what was going on. Season 4, she's in college. She cut her hair. People
Yeah.
are getting haircuts.
Yeah.
I feel so out of place now.
Well, I was like, I didn't know it was only 6 seasons. Your mom said that
7,
yesterday.
there's
Is it 7?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I feel like I should have ran for like 10 years, but I guess it didn't.
Yeah, I thought it did ran. I thought it ran for at least 8.
I mean, apparently. Well, no, because I guess it couldn't have, because the main chick left and was on Parenthood for like 5 years.
But now they have to watch, once Mom and Deja finish Gilmore, the show, they have to watch the special.
Yeah.
The 3 movies.
Yeah. Which is crazy. We're living in this period of like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely my
Nostalgia
generation.
for things that
Aren't even old.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's crazy. Like, I mean, my generation, I remember when I was like late teens, early 20s, there was this thing like Rhino Films, and they started releasing like all the old cartoons and stuff on DVD, and my mind was like blown. But now it's like everything is back, and it's just like, wow.
Speaking of old cartoons that are back,
Go ahead.
Paramount Plus came out with their Rugrats show.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a sequel or they're just doing the same Rugrats stuff.
They changed some things.
Did they?
Yeah. I mean, they changed some things with the characters.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Oh, what they change? I don't know anything.
Phil and Lil's mom is a gay single mom. That's like been stated that's what her character's going to be.
Yeah, they didn't have a dad, and
They didn't have a dad.
Okay.
And she never their character never. I mean, not that it, but that's what's weird. It's like they're saying that's what she's going to be, but I don't know how it's going to play into the cartoon, because it's not like something that needs to be talked about in the cartoon. But
I mean, that makes. I feel like they wanted to do that in the 90s.
And they just couldn't do it.
Yeah. So okay,
that's cool. But what else? It's CGI.
Yeah, it's
3D animation.
3D animation.
Yeah.
Not it. It's whatever.
I
miss the 2D cell animation.
Me too.
It doesn't feel like Rugrats. It feels like if they would have went back to 2D, you would have been like, oh, Rugrats. Yeah. But now you see this 3D and you're like, oh, this. You automatically think, oh, this isn't the same. And it could be exactly the same.
You're right.
You're right. Be the same type of tone and everything.
Yeah.
But since they changed how they look,
it feels like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like, even though I liked the movie, but when they did it for the Peanuts, I was like, why did they do this?
I still didn't see that.
Yeah. I saw a trailer, and this is no lie, like 4 years ago for a Popeye movie that's supposed to be 3D, and it still hasn't come out.
That's probably done.
I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, wow, they're doing Popeye in like 3D animation. And then this thing never came out. And that's a lot of time and money to spend on something like that. So, I mean, I'm tempted between that and what's your girl's name? Leave it up to me.
iCarly.
And leave it up to me.
Paramount Plus is just trying to get
all the money.
Yeah.
Man. About to get my $7.99.
Yeah, iCarly also came out with the sequel on Paramount.
But no Sam Puckett.
No Sam, no Gibby.
No Gibby. See, I get
both reasons.
I do. I mean, Sam's reasons are like deep, but Gibby, like, hey, I get it. When you're a chubby kid and like their whole thing is about you being chubby, that would suck.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
Here,
that's why you're famous.
You're famous because you take your shirt off and like,
Yeah.
That's what's up. You
So
know?
yeah, I wouldn't. I understand why he's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to come back to that.
What Gibby should have done though is went and got fucking yoked.
Oh yeah,
Just yoked.
and then come back.
Just
That would have
come-
been so funny.
Yeah,
on the show.
yeah. I'll take want me to take my shirt off?
Yeah.
That'd be the joke.
I like
They're
to
like, no,
dance.
Gibby.
Rip my shirt off.
They're like, Gibby, put your shirt
Six
on.
pack.
Yeah.
Ripped.
They're like, why is he always trying to take his shirt off? Like, you used to love when I did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was different then. It was different.
Yeah, with iCarly, the trailer actually, like, I would watch it if I had Paramount Plus. It seemed like it seems like it's targeting people my age and like when the show came out and older because they're swearing. They're not dropping F-bombs or anything, but they're swearing and they're drinking.
Beer.
They're drinking beer, and I was like, whoa, like this is like.
But they still look
DD14.
super young.
Yeah,
they still look super young now. It's weird.
For me, they don't like. They look like young adults.
Do they? For me, they still look young.
That's because you saw them as kids.
Yeah. There's definitely a line.
Yeah. Like to me, I was like, oh, they still look young. Like they're.
Yeah.
I think they're like 28 or 30 or something between them. They don't look that.
Yeah.
old.
Sam Puckett's 28 in real life.
Yeah. They don't look 28.
What's her name? Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be dealing with that, like coming of age as a 20-something.
That character that they have, that's not Sam. I hope it works out for her, man.
I don't think she's trying to be a Sam. It seems like they're writing her like she's obviously gonna be her best friend, but they're not writing her as Sam. They're writing her as like
no, she's a new character.
Yeah,
but she don't have some Sam tendencies. I'm telling you. Bro.
I don't think she had. It did not seem like she had any in the trailer. It seemed like she was just being her friend.
Okay, I hope, because you can't be. There's only one Sam Puckett, but she eats meat. But yeah, so that happened. Oh. I made another list. How's your list going?
Of what?
Topics.
Oh.
Your notes.
I have
so I don't want to cut you off.
No, you go. So what do you want to say?
Oh no. I don't even know where to start. The Rock.
What?
My favorite actor. He teased the Black Adam costume this week.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I can't see it either. When I see it, it's just a picture.
No, I literally did not see the picture.
Well, when you see the picture, you're not gonna be able to see it. Like it's real shadowed, and people were talking about how you could see the lightning bolt and you could see hieroglyphs on him. I think as if you enhance the image because the image is super dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's super dark, so it didn't do anything for me. Except like, oh, okay, he's in the costume because they're filming. They're a couple weeks in now.
Yeah,
but then on Instagram, DC released a teaser of Shazam's new costume. So they did a little redesign on his costume.
saw that. I saw Shazam's new costume.
So I was like, I think the movie, I don't want to say it's going to be darker and get everybody like, oh, like the people who care, like, oh no. But I just don't think it's going to be as bright as the first one. Cause to those of you who saw Shazam.
You mean like fun?
Yeah. I think they're going to just
lucky.
give it a little, muddy it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like dirty, make it a little dirty. But still be, I think, lighter than, say, Batman. Yeah, but just visually,
the first one looked bland already.
It was just, there wasn't anything. I don't know how the coloring was like red.
It was bland.
Green. Yeah,
it looked like winter in Pennsylvania.
True.
Like
true. Yeah.
Like it just looked ugly.
There were a couple high points in that movie, but not enough. Enough to make a sequel, but
yeah.
But
and Shazam used to be one of my favorite superheroes.
Yes, he was.
Like as a kid.
Yes, he was.
And I'll admit, I'm a fake fan because it took me 2 years to see the movie.
Yeah.
It came out at a bad time. I didn't have time to see in theaters, and then I didn't want to buy it on DVD. So and HBO Max comes out. It was on HBO Max. I got to watch it.
So you did finally watch it.
Yeah, we watched it together.
We watched it together.
Yes.
Did we?
And then I was like, you know what? It was all right.
It was all right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Did stuff that I liked.
Yeah, there were some things.
Like Zachary Levi was great.
Yeah, he was.
And that's probably the only thing I like. And the kids.
How much you see? That's the problem, though. So did that kid age out? Is he gonna be Billy Batson again?
He is. He's supposed to.
Okay. Gotta watch. I was talking to your Uncle Chet today. What up, bruh? And
Does he listen to this?
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. He listens to your Uncle Doug's though. He was talking to me today, and he said, he's like, was I talking to Doug, or did I hear him doing an update? That's he kind of like, I was like, oh, he was listening to the podcast. Shout out to my brother Doug and his podcast, Rando-ish. But yeah, so I don't know if Chad listens to us or not, but that's neither here nor there. But he said something to me today about Batman and why there's never been a Robin. And that's what we were talking about. How
in the movies?
Yeah, how they never do Robin, and they need to do Robin because that's what people associate with Batman. Like he said, like the average fan, like not like the hardcore comic person. And I was like, you're right. And I said, I think it's an issue with like casting someone young. I said they probably need to cast someone like a Tom Holland, like that age, who's not going to like grow 6 inches. So then you can do like the first movie, but he has to still be young. He can't be like 20 in the first one. He has to be like 17.
Tom 16. Holland was 19, 20. He just looked really young.
Looked real young.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they could do, but then because you want him to progress, you know, from I say like early Dick Grayson Robin to like that teenage years, kind of rebellious, so that you can see what's coming with the third one. He finally becomes Nightwing because that's 9 years. You figure they come out every 3 years, and that'll be enough time for whoever's playing Batman to be like, okay, I'm too old for this shit. So that's how you start in the trilogy, but they've never done it because that's what I was saying that because of Shazam, there were so many kids in that movie, and these movies take so long to come out. It's like, how do you tell a coherent story and your kids age out, like Walt on Lost?
Yeah.
So
it all comes back to Lost.
Always comes back to Lost
somehow, some way.
Hey, you're 2.5 seasons in.
Yeah. I'm
2 seasons.
I'm not a binger. I try and watch an episode a day for any show. So I'll get it done when it's done.
Well, and it's been good so far.
It's been great.
It's been what?
It's been great. I would say it's been great.
That's what I'm talking about.
So far.
So far. I told him last night, I said, since it's been great for 1.5 or 1 3/4 seasons, it's built up enough credit so that even if it does, which I know it won't, start to go bad, you can't hate. Like it's such a horror. It's like when you get all those 10s and then someone gives you a 1. You drop down to like a 9.5. That's what it's like. Just saying. But before I talk about comics, I wanted to tell you something I learned today. So Billie Eilish. Have you seen Billie Eilish?
No.
You haven't seen her lately? How old is Billie Eilish?
Okay.
Eilish before I say this?
I think
please, she has to be. Please.
The thing, I know she's at least 18 because I remember when she turned 18, everyone went crazy.
Okay.
It was really weird.
So, I'm not going to...
I saw a TikTok with her.
Yeah.
No,
did you
listen,
see it?
I was in public and I just scrolled up because I
oh, no, you should have watched it. With her and her friends?
I knew it was something scandalous.
Yeah. Well, that's basically outtakes from the music video for Lost Cause.
She's 19, so
yeah, she well, I can say what I want.
It's all right.
I'm not going to say anything crazy. I'm not going to say anything crazy because I don't want to say, oh, she had a glow up. But I guess she did that. I think a Bazaar or Vogue or some cover like 3 weeks ago, and I saw it, and they had her like all corseted up, and I was like, oh wow, Billie Eilish looks good. But my thought was like, I hope she's not like getting pushed into that, you know what I mean? I hope it's something that she's naturally like wants to look, I guess, you know, sexy instead of wearing. It was like when in my day, like when TLC dropped, like, you know, Left Eye Chili, T-Boss, when they first came out, they were baggy clothes, covered everything, and were still hot, still attractive. Well, by the time you got the Crazy Sexy Cool and they like took all those layers of clothes off and like looked more, I guess, feminine, yeah, my brain like exploded. Like I was just like, wow, they're so hot. So anyways, so I've seen Billie Eilish dancing around, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I saw that TikTok yesterday and I was like, what? Like, where did all this come from? And then I saw the video today and I was like, wow.
Music video or something?
Yeah, she's basically in pajamas and yeah, she's pulling off that like I'm gonna be sexy thing without just being like, you know, like, because, you know, I am old, man, now, people. So, like, things like the Anaconda video and songs like WAP kind of make me want to throw up. So, when I can see someone be sexy without just being completely like, here, look at everything I have.
80s sex appeal.
Yeah, whatever.
When you see shoulders and you're like, whoa.
90s.
And you're fainting. And then you're telling everybody, did you see? Yo, did you see that outfit?
She had red panties on, man.
Yeah.
She's a freak.
Not even that.
No,
You see
just
that?
the
You see
shoulder.
that tank top?
Did you see? Look,
That's
man.
a tank top and jeans.
I grew up in the
Gets 'em.
90s. A girl could show up with mom jeans on, but they weren't mom jeans, and they were just jeans and like a crop top, and you see her belly button. It'd be a wrap. Like she was the bad girl. Like that was. Did you see her belly button? That's a real thing. Real thing. Now it's just like. Can I go on my little rant about this real quick?
All right.
Just real quick. Look, if you're an artist and you're in control of like your own career and your image, why in the world would you choose to be 90% naked and making your ass cheeks clap as you're singing your song? It's your song. It's your song. So you can determine like how your song is put out there and what people's impression of you are. So why in the world would you want everybody to objectify you? Like, I'm just saying, and look, I'm a grimy dude. I'm a grimy dude. But when I see these videos with these musicians, I'm like, what the fuck is she thinking right now? Like, literally, like, what are you thinking? Like, you're going to come out on like these award shows half naked and twerk, like you're going to twerk your own butts together and that's entertainment. Like, you think you're entertaining people. You think you're going to have a legacy after this. You think you're empowered because you're doing that. How is that? If I'm wrong, let me know.
Maybe
I'm wrong, but
I see what you're saying. Maybe some people just like doing that stuff.
I mean, I guess. I mean, like, if I was at the club and some girl was twerking and I was like 20-something years old, yeah, I'd be geeked. But it just seems strange to me that these people who are making their living doing this, that's the move that they're choosing to make. Like, they're not letting their talent speak for them at all. They're literally just like, here I am, and then here's my song. Like, I can tell you, I've Google searched what's her name? Iggy Azalea, naked, like 100 times.
Why
Why
would
I
you say
that?
this on here?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that for instance, but it's just a story. It's just a story.
Oh
all
my
right, then
god.
you can just delete
No,
it.
I'm not deleting it.
Then don't delete
I'm just
it.
saying.
Then don't delete it. This is what I'm saying.
People are trying to give me shout outs. And you're saying stuff like that.
No, because I'm making a point. People have Googled her multiple times, nude or whatever. But how many times they like Googled her song? I can't name like any of her songs. But I can tell you where you can go find whatever leaked picture of her because that's just the way the world works. And that's like the image that they're putting out there. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about that.
I'll be devil's advocate.
Okay.
And I see what you're saying. I do. But that's also women celebrities in general and how we view them. And that's gonna be always be the first, not always, but most of the time, that's how men or whoever view these attractive women as they objectify them.
But that's the thing. I hear what you're saying, but so that's our bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So why do they feed into it then?
Oh, if they know that's the only way that they can.
Well, I mean, you have
like if that's the fast route and the more successful route to gain traction.
I get what you're saying.
They kind of have to do that. It's
saying.
Like society's forcing them to do that.
I'm just saying that I just think it's wrong.
It is wrong.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But it's not their fault.
Well, I don't know. Alicia Keys ain't ever stripped down.
Yeah, but that's one in how many artists. If you're
right.
this one artist and you can make music, or we'll say if you're not even music, or actress or whatever, okay. And you have all these execs and your agent being like, if you do this, all these people will back you, or like, oh, this will really get your name out there. Mm-hmm. While if you don't do it, it's going to be an uphill battle. Because you don't have the best this, you don't have the best that, you don't actual like what you're passionate about. You may not be the best in this, so it's going to be a struggle to get big. Yeah. But if you do this real quick thing for us,
we can
we will help you out a little bit.
Like, but look, Madonna had above average talent, but she wasn't Michael Jackson, she wasn't Prince, she wasn't Whitney Houston. You know what I mean?
Well, what did she do?
She was controversial, but she busted her ass. Like, the things Madonna did in the 80s and 90s were controversial, but they were nowhere near. Like, when Madonna did like the sex tape,
it was controversial for the time.
But
and it helped her get big.
It helped her get big, But
what
look at
was controversial then isn't what's controversial now.
okay, so but what's controversial now is
WAP.
controversial.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Well, controversial always changes, but WAP, yeah. And what did that do? It has probably 1 billion views on YouTube.
God. Your uncle saying WAP. Oh my God.
I'm just saying that we are the ones that
push the envelope.
Best.
So the artist pushed the envelope.
The best
we
press
open
is
it.
bad press.
Yeah, well, she said that. Madonna,
She did not come up with that.
She said it though. Since she said it.
Everyone said that.
I've never said it.
People that get bad press say that.
Yeah, well,
to make themselves feel better.
She would basically as long as we're talking about you, it's a good thing. But I don't know. So that was my quick rant about I don't know, man. I don't know. It just bothers me, bud. You know it bothers me. And I don't even know why. And one day it just happened. I'm telling you, I remember the day it happened. I was watching the Anaconda video, and Nicki Minaj was bent over, and her butt started clapping, and I was like, what is she doing right now? Like, I was like, why is she doing this? Like, I'm like, why are you, like, at this point in your career, why are you doing it? So, I don't know. And then I just started it. Now I don't know. Everything bothers me. But Billie Eilish, yeah. Kudos
She's
for her.
doing it the 80s way.
Yeah, that works for me, bud. Little belly button, little strap for a bra. I was good. I was like, man, she's smoking. You're right, though, too. That is the 80s way.
Yeah. To Billie Eilish's video.
Yeah, so kudos to Billie Eilish. That was about it. I mean, I have a few more notes, but I know you wanted to talk.
What else do you have to say?
No, but I mean, I have some comic talk and I have some cartoon talk. So, I mean, it's up to you. Oh, guess what I didn't watch this week?
What?
Bad Batch. And guess who I didn't talk to this week?
Sergi.
I didn't talk to my man, Matt Sergi, this week. Devastating. But I did text him, tell him I need to talk to him. But guess what I did do?
What?
I read some comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the part in the podcast where our listeners vanish, but I don't care because it needs to be said. So I read some comic books. I really only read a couple of books right now. You know, I'm reading X-Men by Jonathan Hickman, and I'm reading Batman and Catwoman by Tom King, and I'm reading Strange Adventures by Tom King. Basically, the only two writers I'm reading right now are Tom King and Jonathan Hickman. All the books were incredible. If there's anybody out there interested in like a really solid read, yeah, anything by Tom King, anything by Jonathan Hickman. Tom King had a Mr. Miracle limited series a few years ago. It was 12 issues of perfection. And if you're a father or as a parent and you read it, just imagine if your father had to give you up to bring peace, and that peace actually never came, and then when you were put in a position as a father, you had to do the same thing with your son. And that's pretty much the gist of the story. So it was pretty amazing. The Strange Adventure stories has similar tones where parents are put in a position where they have to save the world, but the personal cost of them might be too much. And it's I'm on issue 10 out of issue 12. And it's just the way Tom King writes is you spend 2/3 of the series not sure what's going on, but just thinking this is really good, but I don't know what's happening. And then the last 3, he wraps it up in such a way that you get this emotional kick, but there's not really like a resolution. I don't know, but it's always good. And then X-Men, I think I said last week, Jonathan Hickman, it's like he was born to write the X-Men. He obviously grew up at the same time I did, reading the same X-Men books that I read, because his story is like, I don't even want to call it an homage. It's just like the next step. Like, it's like Chris Claremont, who wrote X-Men for 30 years. It's like Chris Claremont tapped this kid at an early age and said, one day you're going to finish my story. So that's it from our comic talk. That's what I read this week. Yeah. Cape Crusader.
Okay. Continuing with comics. This was announced like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. There's J.J. Abrams, someone we've talked about before. He's making a new Batman cartoon called Batman, the Cape Crusader. And he's doing it with Matt Reeves, he's the director of the last two Planet of the Apes movies, and also the director of the new Batman movie starring, which is
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson,
Mm-hmm.
which is coming out is it this year or next year? I forget, but
I don't
either way,
know.
Matt Reeves is
Yeah.
directing that, but he's helping make the show also along with Bruce Timm, who, if you don't know who that is, he made the Batman the Animated Series show in the 90s, which is considered one of the greatest Batman adaptations ever.
Yeah.
So the show,
Justice League, Justice League Unlimited.
yeah, just with that
Mhm.
announcement of who's involved, it's going to be on, they're saying through HBO Max and Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So
Wait, through both of them?
it said HBO Max and Cartoon Network. I don't know what's going to be on, but they said that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
how
know.
do you put it on one service that's free and one that's paid?
I don't know what they're doing, but it's promising just from the title and who's involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
For
like
sure.
what JJ's gonna do.
I mean, yeah, because they could have kind of done this without JJ.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know
yeah,
what
I mean,
he's doing, but
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you're right.
he has to
Yeah.
do the nostalgia touch with
Yeah.
everything else he does. So
They gave him like $500 million to come over there, right?
come over where?
Like Bad Robot to come to Warner Brothers and develop stuff for him.
When was that?
That was like the big deal he signed.
Oh,
My
recently?
number might be off by
recently?
like $100 million. But
they gave him $500
They
million.
gave him $500 million.
They gave him
I'm gonna
$5
check right
million.
now. Do you remember on Michael Jackson's documentary for This Is It when he says that?
No.
I like fell off the couch. Like, we're watching it. He had passed away. I'm watching it with your Aunt Sarah, and she got a shout out. Holy shit. Shout out to my sister Sarah.
Why did we just do that? We're not gonna hear the end of it.
I know, right? I can't wait. She'll text me right when I say her name. It'll be like 2 thumbs up. But so we're watching it. She's a huge Michael Jackson fan. She's upset because he had passed away. And so we're watching the documentary, and there's a point where like someone tells Michael that something was printed that said he was broke, and Michael Jackson says, "What? I just wrote a check for $500 million yesterday." And I looked at the TV, was like, "No, he didn't. You can't just write a check for $500 million. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that." And I was like, and that's literally what he said. Not like I just made a deal for
Did he have
his
that
estate,
big of net worth?
I think his
in
estate
the
might
first
be
place?
worth in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah, but I don't
because
I
it
don't
went
think he
up
had
after he
five.
passed.
Yeah,
But yeah, to say I just wrote a check for $500 million, it's not possible.
Mhm.
Like, I really don't think you could pull out your checkbook and do
but
that.
it was Michael Jackson saying it. So he's like,
yeah.
"What? I just got a check for $500 million."
Right.
I can't do it.
Right, that was good. That was pretty good. $500 million. I just wrote a check for. I was like, this dude. So, anyways, JJ. I mean, they might have wrote him a check for $500 million, but it was a lot. So, and it's just funny that this is the first thing he's doing, which is basically something they could have done without him.
Yeah, it's
like,
a show. He's
they-
going
yeah.
back to TV.
Yeah, they could, and with the people who already did the show.
Yeah,
So, I guess maybe you'll have a fresh take. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, but I'll watch it.
Oh yeah,
definitely watch it.
Me too.
I heard that Harley Quinn show is good, but I don't know because people are like, she cusses. I'm like, well, is it good because
Yeah.
she cusses, or is it good because he's good?
Is it good because she cusses? Is it good because you like Harley Quinn?
Oh,
Or is it actually good?
I know. Thank you, bud. Thank you, because there are those people.
Yeah. Harley Quinn, she's so
Harley
funny.
Quinn- yeah, you're like, is she though?
Yeah.
Is she?
Alright.
Yeah.
Same with Deadpool. Like those
Same
fans
with-
are the same
Mm.
fans.
In Venom.
Yeah.
In Carnage.
Yep.
Yeah. And I just offended a couple of my friends that I know they love Venom and Carnage, but it is what it is.
At least they're a little better than loving
Yeah.
the other two.
Yeah, the Deadpool thing is like,
It's like the media makes their characters better, which is great. Like the stuff that, like the
Yeah.
video games, the movies, makes their
Yeah.
characters better. But then you have these fans that
Yeah.
just love those. Like the fans is what ruins it.
yeah, the
Like,
fans ruin everything.
Like that same fans that ruin like liking Rick and Morty.
I know.
Like it's like those.
I know.
They just
Yeah.
act like they let you know that this is the greatest thing
Mhm.
at this moment. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you go, you finished season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, I thought you were saying Lost. I was like,
No.
how are you going back to this?
This is Anime Corner with Julius.
I
And
actually
I need an honest review, bud.
I actually
do.
wanted to talk about it with someone that also watched it.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
maybe Ruben.
Oh, what are you?
But
Are you like teasing that you might invite Ruben on the show?
eventually.
Eventually, he's going to hear this and he's
Yeah.
going to text me.
But
Ruben's his cousin, and my cousin. But
yeah, I'll talk about it later. I mean, recommend that if you like anime.
wow,
8 out of 10.
you hear how you just phoned in that recommend? He's like, just if you like it, you like it. Go ahead, chicken.
I'll talk about it later.
All right, go ahead.
8 out of 10 for now.
8 out of 10. All right.
The animation helps incredibly with that rating. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You have to at least give it a 7 with that animation.
The animation's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of the best studios doing it right now.
Who's doing it? Same
Mappa. They're like
what else?
relatively new. Season 4 of Attack on Titan.
Oh, there you go. That's your shit.
But people are hating on season 4 of Attack on Titan.
Because of the animation, or because
They're hating on the animation because that company does like a lot of CGI animation because it's faster and easier.
I didn't know that till you told me that.
Yeah.
It was faster.
It's faster to make a model and then just put move here, and then the computer's like, all right, here's the frames in between.
Okay.
It's just more expensive to get the quality. I think that's not my field, but yeah. Anyway, people were complaining about that animation, but they did so much CGI that it's kind of looking at like a Marvel movie. Like they do so much CGI that when you notice the one bad thing, but you don't recognize the 100 of stuff that goes unrecognized.
Yeah.
Which means it's good. Same with their animation. Like they do so much that you might notice one, but like all the other stuff they did, you didn't notice. But in seasons 1 through 3 with the different studio, you noticed when that studio would use CGI because it was not good.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But that was my rant with that.
Okay. Cool. I think we've covered a lot today.
We did.
It was good to be back.
Yeah.
You know, we survived.
We never left.
Yeah, we survived the Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
I'm getting over a cold too. So
I'm getting over work. So yeah. But so yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. Apologize if you heard multiple coughing in the background or like nails on the floor. That was Rascal.
That would
our
be
dog.
Rascal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 14.
She'll
be 14.
Yeah. Is she?
Wow. She'll be 14 like this
Did
month.
not know that.
Yeah.
She's 14.
She will be 14 this month.
Yeah.
And she's still hanging in there. And she won't let us cut her nails. I took her to the vet to hear about what was up with that cough, and they just said it was something with older dogs. They said she has a strong heart. There's just a lot of fat around it. And I was like, okay.
That describes her.
Yep. And I think I gave her a piece of chicken when I got in the car. So there you go. For being a good girl at the vet. So yeah, that's Rascal in the background.
Yeah.
Actually, Kane was surprisingly quiet the whole time.
I know.
You should put Kane on Kane. Yeah.
All right. But
Well,
that was episode 4 of Sun and Pop's Culture. Thanks for listening. Till next week.
Peace.